Welcome to our next segment of Setting Sail. And this is the final Kikino principle. This is the seventh Kikino principle, honesty. Now, sometimes people ask me, well, why do we even have to talk about it? Don't we know what it is? Well, I would hope so, but I don't think we always do. In fact, when we're talking about honesty, it definitely is a character strength of an individual. But when we're talking about honesty, it's not always about the outside, but it's internal. Once again, come back to that place of personal reflection. Hopefully many of you have been keeping a journal during this time, maybe artwork, maybe photography, maybe dance, movement, music, or writing. And I know in the journal that I'm keeping, that I often keep, I'm really looking at things about being honest with myself. Where are the fears that I have? What are some of the concerns I have? Where's my anger at this entire change that we're going through with the pandemic? And as I reflect on that and reflect on the honesty that I can have with myself, then I can only be honest with others. That's a character strength. My father used to say, you can do so many good things throughout your life, but if you become dishonest, if you lie to people, you cheat people, you don't treat them well, you've lost everything. One thing you can really impact. And so when we're talking about honesty, it is internal, but it's also external with others. Now, it's an interesting point. Sometimes people will be very straightforward, and maybe the other person gets hurt, and they say, well, I was just being honest with you. Well, I think there's honesty, and then there's a way of hurting people by the guise of being honest. It's something as superficial as someone gets their hair done. And that's a real important thing to them. And so they come to you and they say, how do you like my hair? Well, maybe if you're not really sure, maybe you say something like, it's definitely different, and I think it's got to grow on me a little bit. That really says, I'm not sure yet. As compared to someone says, how do you like my hair? And say, my God, you look ugly in it. It looks terrible. Why did you ever do that? That is being hurtful. And I don't believe that's being honest, but it's rather hurtful. And so as we think about these things, over the next few days, think about, where do I need to be more honest about myself and about others? Are there things that I realize that maybe at one time I could do well, and no longer am I as good as I was at one time with that? Is there something else that I need to be looking at? Is there something that maybe I need to tell someone? And how do I say it in an honest way, a truthful way, but not in a way that will break the barriers? See, one of the best qualities about being an honest person, you have a lot of bridges you can build with other people. Because if you're honest, people will come to you and they'll be able to say to you, tell me the truth. What do you think about this? How do you see it? And it's always your opinion. It's not definitely something that's true for everyone. If you're asking me my opinion, that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly how I want to portray it. And then being honest with other people. We probably, I'm sure, during this time when we're living with others and stuff, our emotions have gotten short. Well, you can tell someone how you feel, and again, it doesn't have to be the most hurtful thing in the world. In fact, the earlier you're aware of those feelings, the better it is. Because if we start, projecting out and hurting other people based on our own needs, then we're not being really honest with ourselves, but we're using others to hurt them. When we think about this pandemic, it really is teaching us, or can teach a lot of us, a lot of things about ourselves. And we'll have one more segment. We'll try to pull all of this together. So the Kikino principles, along with the pandemic, about how we're learning more about ourselves. Have a great day, be well, and I'll see you at the next setting of Setting Sail. Thank you.